Ron Lewis, how have you got it?
Oh, that was Rees's round. The surprising thing about Mbaye again is he seems to be very uncomforted by the low target he's got, but he's not using his jab at all. You thought if he used his jab, he could start manoeuvring Rees around, but he just seems to hold back and then throw an occasional right hand, which tends to miss.
Well, I mean, you remember when he fought in Liverpool? He was pretty awful that night as well.
Yeah, he wasn't great up in Liverpool against Andreas Kotelnik.
It was a fight I didn't see actually. I think I was watching Value of that night in Germany. But
well, you didn't miss much, Ron. I can tell you that it was pretty.
Derry Matthews.
It was pretty diced stuff. Well, the Derry Matthews fight was at least entertaining. There was plenty of blood and guts. The Souleymane and Mbaye fight never really fired. He fought that night against a guy with quite a similar style, a tricky Eastern European style, Andreas Kotelnik, Ukrainian, and he didn't shine. People thought he would do better against Gavin Rees, more front foot fighter. Rees has certainly taken the fight to Mbaye.
Kotelnik, though, I would say, I mean, I remember him fighting Witter, and he's a good fighter, Kotelnik.
He was perhaps a little bit unlucky not to win Kotelnik, although there was a case that Mbaye won as well. And I was just saying, Rees is taking the fight to Mbaye, and I wonder if he's just beginning to take the fight out of him as well. We're at the halfway stage. I keep saying we've got Gavin Rees 2 rounds up at the moment, but things can change very rapidly, and things can change over the championship rounds as well. And we're a long way off rounds 11 and 12, but for Gavin Rees, this is beginning to get into uncharted territory. He did fantastic over 6 rounds against Martin Watson. Gavin Rees again just beginning to show that he wobbles his shoulders. He's got his hands held low.
He's cheeky, isn't he?
He's very cheeky, and again he gets the body shots in, and then he moves away very well as well. Just moves his head, and Mbaye's left punching at thin air, and again he moves his head, and again he manages to move out of the way of the shots from Mbaye. I just wonder if the Frenchman is. We're talking about Gavin Rees not coming up with a plan B in round 4. Maybe Mbaye's not got a plan B.
He doesn't really seem to have plan A, really, does he, Mbaye? Again, we look. You wonder sometimes what sort of homework people have done on their opponents, and he seems absolutely baffled by what Rees is doing.
Well, as a champion, I wouldn't be too happy if a challenger just stood in front of me, stuck out his chin, wiggled his shoulders, invited me to come on and punch, and I didn't really do anything. Mbaye's allowing Gavin Rees to dictate. A good uppercut though there from Mbaye as we say that. But Mbaye, in the first few rounds, when Gavin Rees was on the inside, he was prepared to mix it up. Now, when Gavin Rees comes on the inside, Mbaye's more content just to hold on. And maybe these body shots are having an effect from Gavin Rees as he again goes on the attack. And it's Rees' turn to hang on there, and he looks forlornly there at the referee. I wonder if one of those punches from Mbaye maybe took some of the wind out of his sails, but he looks fine again, Gavin Rees, and wiggles his head and again moves out of range. He's got quick hands, Gavin Rees. He started out life as a featherweight and then a super featherweight, so he was used to mixing up. Good shot there though from Mbaye. His best shot for a few rounds.
Yeah,
Rees took it. Well, it was only a jab. Then it was only a single shot, wasn't it?
Single shot. He's not landing combinations. It's just one single shot in this round.
Yeah, the other thing he's not doing, he's not pulling any punches up, is he? He's just trying to measure him with overhand punches. He should really be pulling him up for the smaller guy.
Well, it was a good shot there from Mbaye on the bell, but Rees responded with 3 or 4 of his own after the bell. Mbaye took them fine, but Colin, another round for Gavin Rees?
I've got him winning that round. I mean, what is Mbaye doing? He's not doing anything. Just can't understand it.
Ron, how did you see that one?
Oh, that was Rees's rounds. I mean, of what I've seen, I've got Rees 3-2 up, but you say the first 2 went to Rees as well. So I mean, we're looking at Mbaye potentially with 5 rounds to go, already 3 behind. So it's getting critical now for him.
Well, the first round certainly went to Rees. Mbaye hardly threw a punch. The second round was a lot closer. We did give it to Rees. Remember, we sat here so many times before though with FrankWarren.tv, and we've scored a fight a certain way. The judges at ringside, they're the 3 guys who are the most important. They've scored it another way. We're never quite sure what the judges are going to see, how their scorecards are going to read. What they like as well is Gavin Rees' all-out body attacks. Has that been attracting the eye of the judges? As again, we start the 8th round. Remember, Gavin Rees has only been 12 rounds once, and as we keep saying, you can't stress it enough, that was 6 years ago. But he looks very fresh, and he was first off his stall. He's been up with about 20 seconds to go of every round, standing in his corner looking at Mbaye, and Mbaye took the 4-minute break there. So is Gavin Rees the fresher?
Well, I've got Gavin 3 points ahead on my card. I've got it 65-68 to Rees. Much to my amazement. You can't give a man points, even if he is a world champion, if he's not landing punches.
The thing is about the 12 rounds, I mean, Mbaye's giving him a very easy introduction to 12-round fights, isn't he? He's not, you know,
well, Rees,
he's not being made to work.
Sorry, Ron, Rees, if he fancies a breather, and maybe rounds 9 and 10, he can probably just stand off Mbaye and take a risk that he might lose the round, but come on strong in the later rounds as well. So you see, maybe Rees is having a breather in this round. He's boxing out of range here, and Mbaye is not throwing a punch, and it's up to Gavin Rees to be the aggressor. And I wonder
it's
if
surprising what Mbaye is actually worried about, because he's got such a size advantage. He should be controlling the range.
Well, maybe the body shots did take something out of him early on. It was an all-out body assault from Gavin Rees in the first 2 or 3 rounds. It was reminiscent of Ricky Hatton. Colin said he's not got the power of Ricky Hatton.
Ricky Hatton, I think, would have knocked this guy out by now, the way he's fighting.
But if he could have found him, I mean, he might, if he'd been in with Hatton, he might have spent 8 rounds running around the ring.
Yeah, more chopping body shots there from Gavin Rees, and Mbaye comes back with a few of his own. And the first time in a long time, Mbaye throws out the left jab. And Rees comes back with a left hand of his own, though, a left hook. And Mbaye's he's got 2 or 3 very vocal supporters sat on the front row just behind his corner, and they're up on their feet again. Again, it's Rees who's just doing the work, and Mbaye looks out. I think maybe Amir Khan, I don't know if he's in the corner, but Shah Khan and Asif Ali are over there, and Mbaye looks towards them and nods. He's done a lot of work with Amir Khan up in Bolton. But again, Rees charges forward. This is it's a much closer round this round. I wonder if, like we were saying, Rees is just having a bit of a breather. And good body shots there, though, from Rees. And he throws a left hand to the head as well and just moves out of range. That was good stuff there from Gavin Rees. Oh, good left hook. Catches Mbaye flush, followed by body shots as well. And well, it was a pretty tight round.
I'm sorry, I have to give that to Rees as well. That last flow, he clinched it for him as far as I'm concerned.
From Gavin Rees, he didn't do too much in the round at all, nor did Mbaye. And then in the last 20 seconds, like a true old pro, wily old fox, he threw some body shots, threw a couple of hooks as well, and there was a left hook that caught Mbaye flush. Maybe the first time the Frenchman has really been nailed, and the spray flew from his head. Ron Lewis, did you give that round to Gavin Rees as well?
Oh yeah, I mean, the problem is it's very difficult to give him Mbaye rounds at the moment. He's just not doing enough. Again, some of the flourishes to the body there from Rees weren't, again, the most punishing things, but he's the only one working. If he's the only one working, he's the only guy who's going to get any points.
Exactly.
Well, again, Rees is...
That's my sentiments entirely.
Rees has been up for 5 or 10 seconds here. He's prowling around in front of Enzo Calzaghe. This may be the... he's had some magnificent moments with son Joe Calzaghe over the years. 20 WBO world title fights. Joe Calzaghe, world title defences. 21 wins for Joe Calzaghe, but maybe this will cap them all for Enzo Calzaghe. Oh, Rees takes a right hand there, though. Spray flies, we can't talk too soon. Mbaye is still dangerous. He's a slick puncher, the Frenchman, when he gets going. And Rees is, well, there's 4 rounds out. Colin Hart's got Gavin Rees 4 rounds up. We don't know how the judges are scoring it. They're the 3 that matter, and we're still a full 12 minutes of boxing away from needing the judges. They may not be needed anyway. But Joe Calzaghe, who's ringside, he was up on his feet during the break for that round, and Calzaghe is great friends with Gavin Rees. I see Bradley Price is over the opposite side of the ring as well. And it's been pretty even so far in this round. And it's been a good fight, actually. It's been quite compelling. It's been interesting to see Gavin Rees make this step up to world class. and he's not disgraced himself so far. Remember the WBA light welterweight title, currently owned by Frenchman Souleymane Mbaye, is on the line here, and it would be quite some story if Gavin Rees, I think you could even get odds on him winning this fight beforehand. He was a huge underdog, and no one really fancied him as he catches Mbaye with a left, and Mbaye looks towards his corner. It's never a good sign when a boxer looks to his corner, and again Mbaye looks to his corner man, who shouts out some instructions in French, and good body shots from Gavin Rees. Crowd on their feet again. Colin, how are you seeing this at the moment?
Well, as I say, 4 rounds up. I've got him coming into this round. Much to my surprise, but you can only score a fight as you see it. Never mind about who's got what title and reputations. For me, Gavin Rees has landed more scoring punches than Mbaye.
Well, a few, I think it's some Mbaye fans chanting in the crowd. They're getting behind their man, perhaps trying to lift him. He certainly needs some inspiration from somewhere as again Rees attacks the body. Probably Mbaye's maybe his best round for a while. Again, he looks at one of his supporters outside the ring, nods to him. I wonder if the advice is getting through. He might need to do something quite special here, Mbaye.
Well, the way it's going, you'll have to win by a knockout or lose his title.
Well, we're 10 seconds left of this. I spoke too soon. There was just a couple of seconds left of that. The 9th round. Colin, that was far closer. How did you score that one?
Well, I gave it to Rees again because I still don't see what Mbaye is doing to earn the round.
Gavin Rees, he's blowing a little harder in the corner. No surprise that he's, as we say, he's not been beyond the 9th round for 6 years.
I mean, Mbaye is so lazy. I mean, if I was his cornerman, I'd be smacking him around the face. I'd be pinching him, doing anything to get him angry, to get him motivated. He does not the least bit motivated. I find it quite astonishing. But then I may be misreading this, altogether.
Ron, it's difficult to sort of second guess the judges, isn't it?
Yeah, I actually gave that round to Mbaye, actually. I thought it was the first time he actually measured him with a few decent punches. And Rees's work level was slightly lower in that. It was a very tight round, but
I must admit, I went for Mbaye as well. I thought he did the better work, but we all see things differently. And on the Colin Hart's scorecard, Rees is running away with this. He's 3 rounds up on mine. Ron Lewis didn't see the first 2 rounds, but the rounds that he's seen, I think he's probably got the fight just about even.
I've got Rees up on 1 up on the rounds I've seen, but
I think we can safely say the first round went to Rees. We gave Rees a second, but we weren't 100% confident. So it's all to play for as we go into the 10th round.
I don't know whether the judges will, take into consideration that Mbaye is the champion.
Well, there's this. It's
Therefore,
almost like
giving the benefit of the doubt, any doubt.
An unwritten rule that the champion gets the even rounds. I'm not sure if that should quite be the case. If it's an even round, you should score it even. I wonder if Mbaye's just a little bit marked up under the right eye. Have a closer look at that. I think it's not going to be a problem. It just shows that he's been in a tough fight. There was not many people having a reading of the previews and through the internet sites and had a look, and not many people, myself included, fancied Gavin Rees to win this one. Tony Connolly in Boxing News, he went for Mbaye. He just said there was no way Gavin Rees could win. But the inexperienced Welshman is having a mighty good crack at Souleymane Mbaye, as Stanley Christodoulou, referee, just warns Mbaye for pushing Rees into the ropes. Rees he's just beginning to mark up and blowing a little harder, but he's done the hard work. He's just got half of this round to go, and then rounds 11 and 12 as Mbaye has a wrestle on the inside and tries to sap some of Gavin Rees' strength. Maybe he should have done that earlier, because he's allowed Gavin Rees to dictate terms so far, and again Rees goes to the body. The crowd are getting in behind it. Promoter Frank Warren's he's come round to see the fight with us. I wonder how Frank's scoring it. We'll try and have a word with him. Frank, how are you scoring it? How are you scoring it, Frank?
Rees is a good 6 rounds in front at the moment. He's been, I'm actually surprised. It seems like Mabai's winding himself up, looking to throw big shots, and in the meantime, Rees is letting punches go in bunches, and he's winning the fight. He's scoring.
Frank, this fight almost slips under the radar. It'd be a seismic shot, wouldn't it, if Gavin Rees won?
I'll tell you, it's an exciting fight. There's no doubt about that. But I'm surprised that how Mabai is just sort of letting Rees overwhelm him.
We'll come back to Frank in a minute. Again, quite a level round, but that's interesting. Frank Warren has Gavin Rees maybe 6 rounds up. Ron Lewis and I have got Rees 3 rounds up. Colin Hart's got him 5 rounds up. The crowd are on their feet. They're chanting easy, easy, and he's Gavin Rees just 6 or 7 minutes away from the biggest win of his career, one of the biggest shocks as well in British boxing history. It would be an amazing story. This guy's 2 or 3 years ago, his career looked over. He was doing community service after punching someone at a funeral, but he's come back from that. He said he was leading the life of a bum, and he looked at himself in the mirror and wondered if he'd thrown it all away. Well, Colin Hart, he might not have thrown it all away, and he's got it all to play for, hasn't he, in these closing 2 rounds?
All he's got to do now is keep his cool, not take any chances, just see himself through the next 6 minutes, and for my money, he is the new champion. As I say, I'd love to know what the judges have got, but I can't see any other winner. Unless he gets knocked out, I cannot see any other winner.
Well, Enzo Calzaghe is really geeing him up in the corner. He slaps him on the bum as the bell goes for the start of the 11th. Gavin Rees is marked up under the left eye now. There's a mouse, and they were working on it in the corner. But I think it's not going to affect him too much, and he's 6 minutes away from perhaps lifting this WBA light welterweight title. And this is when all the conditioning work that he does in the gym, all the hills he runs up, all the mountains he runs up in South Wales with Joe Calzaghe and Enzo Maccanarelli and all those guys in the gym, all the hard rounds of sparring. He's been working ever so hard with Bradley Price ahead of this fight, and Joe Calzaghe and Enzo Maccanarelli. Enzo Maccanarelli, of course, still to come. But King Gavin Rees make it 2-3 world champions. I tell you what, he's not too far away, and Bay's having the better of this round. A few chance of easy from the crowd, but Bay maybe sensing that he needs to do something special here is up the work rate, and he's caught Rees clean, and Rees clings on. But I think Colin, if he can just get through this round, I think the stamina should be there to see him through the 12th.
Well, he's doing the right thing. All he's doing is getting in close and grabbing Mabai to stop him working. Not that he's tried to work very hard throughout this evening.
Well, Mbaye was lucky to retain his title in Liverpool when he drew with Andreas Kotelnik. Will he have some luck tonight? I think he might need it, because we've got Gavin Rees winning big, and Rees goes to the body again and then clings on. He's just trying to spoil Mbaye's work. This is Mbaye's best round for a while. He's talented, the Frenchman. He's a slick boxer. He's easy on the eye, but he's not. The work rate just hasn't been there for him tonight. He took Raoul Balbi apart to win this title in Bolton, but is it all falling apart for him here in Cardiff tonight? We're in the 11th round, and it's been interesting. And Gavin Rees just hanging on there again. I've not got him winning this round.
No, I think Mbaye's winning this round, but then, but even though he's not winning it impressively.
Yeah, he's probably just done enough, the cleaner work from Mbaye, but now he wrestles Gavin Rees into the rope, and I really get a ticking off here from Mr. Christodoulou.
Well, I think they both are, because he wrestled because Rees had him round the waist and wouldn't let go.
So Mr. Christodoulou says box on, and Rees then goes for a body attack, and he looks into the corner. And well, the corner must be impressed by what they've seen. Well, we kept saying this before the fight. Did Enzo Calzaghe know something that we didn't? He's a wily old fox, the Italian, who's now made his home in South Wales and made a terrific gym there in Newbridge. He's, for so long, Enzo Calzaghe lived in the shadow of the achievements of his son Joe. Not really rated as a trainer, because everyone thought that Joe was so naturally talented. And it's only in the last few years that Enzo Calzaghe has begun to emerge as a top quality trainer. He's brought Enzo Maccanarelli on leaps and bounds. He's got Bradley Price back on track, Commonwealth light middleweight champion. And is he about to add the WBA light welterweight title to his stable? Is Gavin Rees about to pick up that title from Frenchman Souleymane Mbaye? Rees is breathing hard in the corner, but he's 3 minutes.
I'd love to know what Enzo's saying. He really is going to work verbally. I mean, it's like watching an opera to watch Enzo Calzaghe at work. You would think Rees was miles behind the way he's going at him, but he needs that last 3 minutes of motivation. In other words, he's saying jog up and down, make him believe that you've got all the energy in the world left.
Well, Rees out a full 30 seconds that time before the start of the round, and then Mbaye took the full minute. Ron, is Rees going to do it?
Well, I mean, Mbaye's got to stop him. I mean, you know, I don't think there's really any question about that. I mean, 3 or 4 rounds ago was the time when Mbaye really had to turn it on, and he won the last round, but he hasn't really done it, you know. And Mbaye's been disappointed, but Rees has been fantastic.
Well, Gavin Rees in the build-up, he said to me, he said Mbaye doesn't being light backed up. I saw him against Gatelnik. He doesn't like it when someone takes the fight to him, and that's what I'm going to do. And Gavin Rees, maybe not in every round, but for enough of the rounds for us, has taken the fight to Souleymane Mbaye. Rees started this fight fantastically. He took the first round with an all-out body assault. He took the second as well, and although Mbaye came back in rounds 3 and 4, Rees has pretty much been winning the round since then. And that's according to us. We keep having to stress this, though. We don't know how the judges are scoring it. And Rees, he's having a decent 12th round as well.
He's winning this round
more
too.
Body shots as well, and Mbaye's having to suck it up. Hooks to the head as well come in from Rees. The crowd are on their feet.
Rees looks like the champion. He looks, you know, he's boxing like the champion, not the challenger.
Well, he does at the moment. It's this belt, of course, held by Ricky Hatton. It's been held by Costa Zoo recently as well, and Vivian Harris. And Shamba Mitchell has been held by some quality fighters. It's been held by Souleymane Mbaye as well. Will it still be held by the Frenchman in about a minute and a half? Joe Calzaghe's on his feet, screaming at Rees. He's living every punch. He's throwing the punches. Mbaye's coming on strong. He's sensing that perhaps he needs a knockout. That's what Colin Hart thinks. That's what Ron Lewis thinks. And to be honest, that's what I think as well. Again, Rees holds on, and Joe Calzaghe, he turns his back. He's bouncing up and down on his feet now, Joe Calzaghe, as again Gavin Rees holds on, and Calzaghe, he's almost got his head in his hands.
I'll tell you what.
It's almost more exciting. This is a very exciting fight, but it's almost more dramatic watching Joe Calzaghe on the other side of the ring. He's grown up with Gavin Rees. They've been in the gym together for years and years, and I think Rees is probably just stealing this round too.
Joe Calzaghe is using so much energy. I think he's down to middleweight.
Somewhat frustratingly, we've not got clocks on our monitors, so we're not quite sure how long's left. There can't be too long left though. Maybe about 30 seconds. As again Rees comes on strong, and the crowd are on their feet. Rees lifts his arm. There's 20 seconds left, says Ron Lewis, and the crowd are on their feet. They're cheering Gavin Rees home. This will be an absolute sensation if Gavin Rees does capture this WBA light welterweight title. He looks at the corner. He winds up a bolo punch. The corner are confident that he's done it. Gavin Rees is confident that he's done it. Rees lifts his arms in the air. So does Souleymane Mbaye. Gavin Rees drops to his knees. And Mbaye thinks he's done it. But we think Gavin Rees has done enough. Remember, 3 scoring judges at ringside. Well, they have seen it differently. I think there might be a riot if Gavin Rees isn't declared the champion. Joe Calzaghe leaps into the ring, kisses Gavin Rees, who's now been lifted onto the shoulders of Enzo Calzaghe.
I scored it 117 to 111 for Gavin Rees. Now, I could end up with egg all over my face in about 2 or 3 minutes. But that's the way I saw it, and that's the way I've scored it.
Well, I scored it a little bit closer. I think about 116, 112. How did you have it, Ron?
I'll go the last round on Mbaye. I think I might have had 3 rounds in him.
Well, Connie Henry, our roving reporter, she thinks Gavin Rees has won it as well. Promoter Frank Warren, he had Gavin Rees 6 rounds up after 10 rounds. But we have got it wrong before. We can't be 100% accurate, and it's going to come down to the judges. And it all depends how those 3 men at ringside have seen it. But Gavin Rees looks very, very confident. he waves his hands to the crowd, and then Bay, he looks confident too. He looked confident up in Liverpool when he retained his title with a draw against Andreas Kotelnik. And will luck strike twice for him? I think he will need a lucky decision if he is to retain his title. Of course, he is the house fighter. Gavin Rees was fighting out the away corner tonight. They think Rees has won it as well.
Jean-Claude Boutier has given it to Rees as well.
The French commentary team. It's been a long time to toss up the scorecards, but I think the result is in. We often say the longer the time, the closer the result. Here it is. He's done it! Gavin Rees has done it! And Enzo Calzaghe goes absolutely bananas, and Gavin Rees goes bananas too. One of the biggest shocks in British boxing history. Gavin Rees has come from nowhere, absolutely nowhere, to lift the WBA light welterweight title. No one gave him a chance. You couldn't even get odds on the fight before it happened, and Gavin Rees, it's a landslide. He's absolutely whitewashed Souleymane and Bay. Colin Hart.
Well, the Welsh have never had a Cinderella man. Well, they've got one now.
Cinderella man, he's Hansel and Gretel. It's every fairy tale you can think of. Ron Lewis.
Yeah, the giveaway was actually the way the new MC announced them. He announced them in scorecard order, I think. But yeah, I mean, once it was so wide, it was no question. The first one, it was unanimous and it was wide.
So the 6-round points margin I had wasn't too far-fetched then to have a fight.
Yeah, the 118, 108. Souleymane Bay very sportingly. He's not disputing the decision. He went up to Gavin Rees, gave him a pat on the shoulder.